Welcome to the channel, everybody. Now today I have a Scum 0.95 and beyond news and updates for you all. So let's jump straight in and see what the devs have been up to over the past week, shall we? Right then, so first up first, we have had quite a few hotfixes following the latest large patch that came out. So we're going to run through all them because there have been 3 of them since last week. So first up is the first one. Hey everyone, we're releasing a small emergency hotfix regarding fatal errors and crashes to update your game all. Also, all players affected with a false ban have been unbanned. The bug fixes in this have fixed the issue where selling vehicle expansions while attached to vehicles would cause a server crash, where repairing vehicle parts through vicinity icon would cause a client crash, issues where bicycles could be logged incorrectly in the flying vehicle log. So what was going on was when you got onto a push bike and you did a slight jump, it would log you as flying on the vehicle log, the flying vehicle log, and that would then create a ban. I think we're all quite aware of what came in with the anti-cheats now, and obviously there were a few little minor errors with them. Everyone that was banned has been unbanned now. It was a very sort of grave error with this that happened, and it was swiftly sorted by the devs, which was lovely to see. So there is a note at the bottom of this as well. It says selling inventory attachments will only be possible from service lift for now. Okay, so if you're selling those inventory attachments for the vehicles, what you need to do is put your vehicle onto the service lift and then sell it from there. Okay, don't be taking it off and trying to sell it individually. All right. So what we'll do, we'll move on to the next one, which again was quite swift from the devs, and there has been quite a few bug fixes, and they've fixed the issue where the prisoner could be locked in combat mode after dropping ranged weapons, where the base building walls sometimes could not be placed on inclined terrain, where players were unable to install the vehicle's inventory expansion attachment in service mode on other vehicles than Ranger, where players were unable to put the dirt bike on the car jack when it was missing the rear wheel, where dropping items to the vicinity from the vehicle inventory would not work when the vehicle has an inventory expansion attachment installed, where the passenger camera would change to a smaller FOV when the vehicle is going really fast, with the collision of the big raft inventory expansion, where the owner of a base building element wasn't properly shown in drone mode, where the prisoner would randomly T-pose when mounting a big raft passenger slot. Vehicle inventory expansion collisions are now disabled when there is no vehicle inventory expansion installed, where entering the raft option from the context menu would not execute correctly. Fix issues with the bunny slippers panini in first person, where base building elements and the grill grid would not interact properly, where dropping chests from vehicles would destroy BB elements. So with the big patch, there were a few breakages along the way, but swiftly taken care of, which is nice to see as always. Now, as you all know, the dev team only have a finite amount of resources to be able to test. That's why we're in a development stage of an early access game, because we can all give a very wider range of feedback to the devs and pick these things up. All right, this is the whole reason why we do this. Okay, if you're playing Scum at the moment, essentially you're a game tester, and I'll say the same with any early access game that you buy. You are essentially a game tester. Any early access game you buy is not finished, it's not complete. It's probably going to take a while to complete. So by buying that game, you're essentially supporting the team, and by supporting the team, it would really help if you send this feedback, because as you can see, by sending that feedback, it really does help them out by getting a grip on, you know, a larger scale of bugs and what's going on with player base. You know, there's quite a few of us that are on different hardware. You know, that does come into account. It does factor in as well. You've got to think that, you know, if there's only 6 devs testing and then they release a patch and we've got 5,000 people testing and giving feedback, that is a very large scale, isn't it? So it may have broken some things when they release the patch, yes, but that's why we're in this development process right now, so we can fix these things and get it to a stage where it goes to a full release and it's polished nicely and works correctly. Now, on top of these bug fixes, we did get some quality of life stuff as well. Flying vehicle cheat detection will now kick the player instead of banning them. Again, this goes back to the previous points that we made about the banning that was going on that was fixed. Again, this is just another sort of safety measure to make sure it doesn't happen again. Other than that, adjusted the drift of the SUP and the small raft when moving forward with each paddle cycle. Lovely jubbly. Now, it may not look like a lot, but again, there's been 3 of these in the past week, and we're sure to see a lot more, especially of these bigger patches over the coming months as well. Now, other than this, they did add another server setting. They've implemented Puppet Health Multiplier server setting. All right. So the setting will be located under the world section of the server settings. With this setting, players will have the option to globally modify the health of the puppets. Also, this setting will not require a server restart for it to take effect, as the setting dynamically modifies the health of the puppets on the server and multiplies it with the value that you set. Here's some more info on the range of the values of it. So if you want to just take a quick pause, feel free, read through this. Obviously, if you're an admin or a server owner, this is good for you. All right. Other than that, known bugs at the bottom here. Items equipped directly from small storage rack will disappear. Make sure you take them out first. Locks disappear from prefab buildings on relog in single player. Just a few known bugs that they are aware of. Again, if they are known, they are being sorted, and we should see another hotfix for these as well in the future. All right. So, I'm going to move on to the latest hotfix, which came out yesterday. A lot of bug fixes here yet again. Fixed issue where rafts not in water would falsely flagged as flying, where equipped items directly from small vehicle storage would make them disappear, where vehicles would fall under raid protection when inside flag area, where chests would not be raid protected if built before the flag was placed, where chests would increase active BB elements on restart, where chests placed on foundation could sometimes cause a server crash, and again some known issues here. Quickly pulling chests out and in of a car inventory could cause them to disappear. To minimize this issue, slowly take chests one by one out until properly fixed. Chests show maximum of 65 kg weight while in containers. If the chest has more than 80 kg, on take in hands action, it will get stuck in the middle of the vehicle. To avoid this, put it on the floor first until properly fixed. Sometimes chests that are put in the vehicle inventory while being on foundations will break the foundations. So I have heard of some big squads as well as some solo players. You know, it did affect quite a few people with basically nuking their bases. Now, it is going to be a bit of an issue, obviously, when you're building a base and it gets nuked. Now, I think it was quite lucky we were quite close to the patch. Obviously, I don't feel like people would have been majorly, like, you know, upgraded with their bases. I could be wrong. You know, people could have sunk 40 hours into the game since, you know, patch just upgrading their base. And unfortunately, as I said before, we're in a development stage and these things do and can happen sometimes, and it's just the way it is, unfortunately. I get the frustrations, but again, this is one reason why I don't go out of my way to, you know, gain all those skills with one player or build a impenetrable base that's taken me, you know, 60 hours to get all the resources for and build and stuff like this, because we could have a map wipe, you know, at any point, and then you're gonna have to rebuild it again anyway. So again, I get the frustrations, I really do, but we are here as essentially game testers and to support the development of the game, you know. So that is pretty much going to be all for today. As I've said before, there's links down in the description for bug reporting. We've now got in-game bug reporting as well. Just hit escape. It says report stolen content, I think it is, on there. Just click that, it'll open up the web page for you, and you'll be able to report your bugs straight away from in-game. All right. Now, just want to give a quick shout out to our channel members. Thank you very much for your extra and ongoing support. It's always appreciated. If you want to join them, you can do. Head over to the channel, hit that join button, and see what perks suits you best. But if you want to support me in another way, you can do simply by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. And that way you'll stay up to date with all the latest Scum news, guides, and even that random stuff I like to get up to sometimes. Until next time, see ya.